So, hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club, and welcome to my parents' kitchen floor. I'm on holiday and we are doing a Tai-Pan review. Tai-Pan is a novel written by James Clavel, focusing on the birth of Hong Kong in, I've got my notes, 1842, following the First Opium War, and it follows the British and American traders in Hong Kong. And it sounds very dull on paper, but trust me, this book was the best thing I had read since A Song of Ice and Fire, and this book is really thick. It took me ages to read, so this is going to be more of a character study than a true review. And then I will be doing a true review a little bit later on. So there's a lot of characters in this. There's Dirk Struan, there's Tyler Brock, there's Callum Struan, there's Garth Brock, there's Mei Mei. We love a bit of Mei Mei. There's Gordon Chen, there's Tess Brock, there's Mary Sinclair, and then I got more in the back, and then there's Captain Scragga. So these are the characters we are going to be focusing on during this little live. If you have any questions about Tai-Pan or anything, just drop them in the comments. I don't know what my hair is doing. I've been in the sea and then I was in the pool, so it's wet. So, and also I'm just wearing a bikini top because I really can't be bothered getting changed because it's like 35 degrees out there. So Dirk Struan is the Tai-Pan and the ruler of the trading company known as the Noble House. It's the biggest trading company in Hong Kong at that time. Dirk kind of gives Tywin Lannister vibes. That man is TCB, taking care of business. You know, I've been reading a lot of Elvis, so that one. He has red blonde hair and green eyes. He's tall. He's always the smartest man in the room. He's incredibly ruthless, but he is kind. That is something about Dirk Struan. Dirk Struan is kind, so that's good. You definitely see that when he's taking Scragga's boys on board. That's really interesting. We got Fred and Bert, and they pop up later in Gaijin, so that's important. Everything. Dirk's almost too perfect of a character. Does that make sense? So he kind of bugs me. I think that's my main problem with this whole book, is Dirk bugs me because he's too perfect. His decisions work out too well, you know? Oh, hi. Hi, TBC. Thank you. That's lovely. If anyone's got any questions about Tai-Pan by James Clavel, throw them in the comments, and remember to give this video a like. And then we move on to Dirk Struan's nemesis in this book. So these companies are facing off against each other. Hi, John. And he's the second biggest trading company, and he just wants to take Dirk Struan down by any means possible. Oh, hi from Australia. Well, we are currently in Spain, so that's pretty cool. We're going a bit transcontinental. Tyler definitely has a cruel streak that Dirk doesn't, to some extent. You see that when he beats up the man Tess takes to bed. But I don't know. I think Tyler Brock is a real survivor. He turns up again in Gaijin. He's Old Man Brock at that point. And I quite like Tyler. I don't know why I like Tyler. I think because he's flawed, which is something we don't see in Dirk. So I like a flawed character. Anybody got any questions? Then we get on to Callum Struan. Callum is Dirk's son. He's about 20. He's the future Tai-Pan, obviously. He's learning the business, but he is super naive. Like, he's super naive. And of course, as has to happen in a story like this, Callum falls in love with Tyler Brock's daughter Tess, and that's a bit of a drama. And then he also makes friends with Tyler's oldest son, Garth, and that all ends really badly. This is just like a really quick overview of Tai-Pan, and we are going to be doing a proper review at some point. I just haven't had time. Life is busy, you know? Trying to think. Let me see. Yeah, so Callum definitely grows during the course of this book. You really see that when Captain Glessing loses his arm during the typhoon and Callum jumps into action. That was really cool. But I did think that it was really sad in Gaijin that then Callum just becomes an alcoholic like his Uncle Rob. That kind of ruined it for me, because the end of Tai-Pan is so hopeful, with Callum giving Tyler Brock back Dirk's coffin money and stuff. It was good. It was just good. I liked it. What was my hair doing? It's so flicky. So we'll move on to Gorth. Now, Gorth is definitely the villain. Gorthbrock is the villain of this book. But I still... I'm not too sure about him, right? He's definitely like a villain. The way he tries to trick Callum into getting the pox by taking him to a poxed prostitute, and then knowing that Callum is going to marry his half-sister. Like, that's real shady. And Gorth isn't as intelligent as his father, so his plans keep falling kind of flat. And I don't know. I don't mind Gorth. I think he's a good villain. I think he's a really good villain. But I'm not sure about much else when it comes to him. Okay. I'm trying to think. Gorth definitely has a low cunning, and he's like super violent. So he's good to read. Does that make sense? I like his POVs, and when you find out he's impotent, like, you're like, oh yeah. So that all worked, and he likes beating women to death, which I thought was a little bit overkill. James Clavel, just a little bit overkill. Then we get on to Mei Mei, who is Dirk Stern's Chinese mistress, who has 2 children with him. I really like Mei Mei. I think she's super kind. I think she's very unique in this world, because she's pretty much the consort of a very high-ranking man. I also think she's really kind when it comes to Gordon Chen, Dirk's other illegitimate child. I think it's really funny when Mei Mei buys Dirk another concubine. I was just like, well, what's happening here? And of course, Dirk is very annoyed by that, but I mean, I thought it was hilarious. If you're just joining, we're talking about Tai-Pan by James Clavel. If you have any questions about it, just shoot them down below and let me know where you're all from. Colombia. Cool. So, I'm trying to think. Mei Mei is very intelligent. I'm trying to think what else there really is. I like the bit where Mei Mei is about to throw the big bar of silver in the river to the river god and then doesn't. That was really funny. That was a really good part of the book. And then we get Gordon Chen. Interesting. I think Gordon Chen is more interesting actually in Gaijin than he is in Tai-Pan, because we don't get that much of him in Tai-Pan, apart from the fact that he's the head of the triads in Hong Kong and can't leave Hong Kong. He's as intelligent as his father, and especially when compared to Callum, I think Gordon's a lot more intelligent. But Gordon also has like a lot of family loyalty, which I like, and it definitely gets like brought to the forefront when Callum acknowledges him and stuff, and Dirk acknowledges him, and he's like, yes, I will give you face. Especially like, you know, when the uncle dies and stuff, and Gordon Chen throws a massive funeral. There's Tess Brock, so that is Tyler Brock's daughter who marries Callum, and apart from her losing her virginity to a sailor early in the book, and then after her father kills him, just being like, I'm not going to think about that anymore, she doesn't play a big part in this, but in Gaijin, I think that this definitely kind of sows the seeds for who Tess Brock becomes later on. Like, just put it behind you, stiff upper lip, and get on with it. So that's interesting. Then we have Mary Sinclair, the secret English prostitute and devoted spy to Dirk Stroon. Mary is one of the most intriguing characters in this book. I honestly wish we had more of her in this book. And the bit when you discover that she and her brother have been having sex, and her brother has been like raping her for years, like since they were children, that was pretty shocking. Really good like twist in the book. I kind of wish that her brother had had more comeuppance and not just died in the typhoon. For me, that felt slightly anticlimactic. And I would have also liked to have discovered who her baby daddy was, but we never get that, obviously. I like to think it was Gordon Chen. You know, I like to think that was Gordon Chen, but I'm not too sure. But Mary Sinclair, I really think could have done with a little bit more fleshing out, but I really like her. And she's still around in Gaijin 20 years later, so that's amazing. We're on the second page of my notes now. Yes, so Mei Mei helping Mary Sinclair was really, really sweet. I thought the fact that like Mei Mei made it so she could get married and no one would ever find out that she'd been having all these affairs and being a prostitute, that was really nice. And Mei Mei likes her because she speaks Cantonese, which is all very interesting. I also think it's interesting that it's never brought up that like Dirk never finds out that Mei Mei is actually a spy. You know, for the head of the Chinese traders, I think, and is the head of the Chinese traders' granddaughter. I think that's really interesting as well. Okay, and then we got Captain Scragga, the pirate negotiator for Wong Fang Choi. And I really liked Scragga, and his family line is mentioned again. His two sons are brought up in Gaijin, which is really cool. But oh my god, Scragga's death. Like that was really bad. Like being no arms and legs, no eyes, no tongue. Oh my god, like that was, ugh. That was so bad. Couldn't really deal with that, and especially because Scragga, I actually liked him. Like he obviously was a rogue, and like he'd been sent to the colonies and stuff for, I think it was stealing. I can't remember exactly, but he was obviously kind of a bad dude, but he loved his kids and he set them up well because they turn up again with the Stroon. They become mixed Stroons. So, this book I give a solid 9 out of 10, right? I marked it down 2 points because, number one, not so interesting, but I think Dirk is too much of a perfect character. That's why I've taken a point off, right? Dirk is too perfect. He is like too one of a kind, amazing man, right? And second of all, I think the fact that the book ends with the typhoon is a bit of a cop-out, in all honesty. I think they could have done more with the end of it, but that's just me. That's nobody else. That's just me and my opinion, you know? But yeah, that is my very quick overview of Tai-Pan. I will be doing a full-length review at some point when I get time to record. Obviously, I've been struggling to get time to record just with work, and then I've been home visiting my family in Spain, and you know, life happens, and I'm getting married in a few months, so that's been slightly stressful, and we're getting work done to the house. So yeah, I just haven't really been finding time, but hopefully I will get back to recording regularly very soon. Anybody got any questions or anything? No problem. I guess I will be signing off in a sec. Oh, I wonder if I can use any of these effects just for fun. Because I've got nothing going on. I have to go pack. Oh, retouch. Does that make me look different? Retouch off. Retouch on. Oh yeah, I guess rid of the bags under my eyes slightly. Off. A little bit. A little bit. Ooh. Oh, we got green screen, but I don't need that. What is this? Highlight. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. I thought there was like other little bits you could do, but obviously not. But hey ho, I will maybe do a live of Gaijin before I do my full review of Tai-Pan and Gaijin together, obviously, just because it's easier. But I didn't get through all my talking points, and I'd rather make a full-length video and get like all my images and stuff. So we'll just wait and see. I also am currently rereading The Lost World by Michael Crichton. I did a little live about Jurassic World last week, so that was fun. And then I'm rereading The Lost World, and I've been reading The Meg, and I'm kind of doing this like monster book thing. Does that make sense? Like a monster book comparison, like, you know, different tropes and stuff. I've been enjoying doing that. So like I have tons of stuff in the pipeline, I just need to get time to do it. And you know, life gets busy. I'm trying to think, I've got nothing else really to say. I need to go pack, and I'm just prevaricating now. But until next time, guys, bye. Thank you for being here. I better go and get packed, and then I think we're going to the river for another dip because it's so hot. So then I'll have been in the sea, the river, and the pool today. Okay, bye everyone.